Happy Thursday and welcome to the Rival and Queen podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Sarah. And we are together.
It's December.
In the holiday spirit, as always, for the full month.
It's a festive month and we are embracing all of it.
All of the festivities. We had our first holiday party in probably 2 years this last weekend.
Did we not have any holiday parties last year?
I don't remember,
to be
honest.
I mean, if they were like...
I was in isolation in Newfoundland, so I definitely didn't have any.
Yeah. No, I think we only did stuff with my immediate family last year.
I can't remember, honest, for the life of me. Like, surely we did something before I went to Newfoundland, but...
Oh, you came over here one night, you and Susan, our friend Susan.
Yes.
And we sat by the tree.
I remember that. And we probably had
rum and eggnog.
I haven't had an eggnog yet. That's coming out this week. I'm calling
Look at the static happening.
We got the hair.
It's that time of year.
Everything's staticky.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's Thursday. We've got a big weekend. Also,
I couldn't even fathom.
Happy birthday to our bestie, Kara Kim, 3-5. We love you so much.
She is a big Rival and Queen listener. Kara, we love you. It is her 35th birthday today.
I know.
Damn.
Girl, you look good.
You look good.
We're so excited to celebrate with you today. And yeah, we've got a busy weekend kicking it off with Kara's birthday. We've got something tomorrow. We've got something, your party Saturday.
I know, guys. I'm hosting a holiday party and I'm so excited. It's a Christmas party. And I'm so excited. And in my excitement, no one's shocked with this. I accidentally invited too many people. First of all, I don't have a giant house. I have a condo that I live in, like an apartment. And
you'd think people would be busy.
I thought, first of all, I didn't make a list. So I just invited everyone I saw because I was so excited. And what the feeling I'm getting is that people have not had a party in so long that they are all excited. I thought some people would have conflicts. I thought a bunch of people would forget. Once I made the list, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to downplay this event and hopefully people surely will forget. What I've come to find out is no one has forgotten and they're all planning to come.
It's going to be, we're going to do it in shifts.
We're implementing a shift system.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I'm excited. It's going to be a freaking blast. I don't even care. The universe will figure it out for us. There's going to be shifts.
And we're so excited that we bought new dresses from MB and Grace.
Yeah.
That are the most extra and sparkle. And thanks to everyone who weighed in on our Instagram polls that Sarah kicked off.
I tried on when I was there last weekend. Because I went before you. I think I tried on at least...
I want to almost go back.
I tried on 10 dresses on my own. And then I didn't even post them all. And then we tried on a bunch together. And everyone weighed in. Yeah, people were really voting a lot on what we should buy. And I appreciated it.
Very helpful. But we didn't buy the ones that people liked the best. We bought the other ones.
The ones on, I had two sparkle dresses I was choosing between. And people were 50-50.
Yeah. But at first, people were very into the nude.
And they are very opinionated. They write us long comments about why we should pick one dress over the other. And you know what? As someone who does not have a stylist in my life, neither of us have a stylist, but we can dream.
If anyone wants to help us.
But I feel like we've got a built-in stylist through the community because the community just comes in hot and tells us what we should be wearing, what we should not be wearing. And thank you guys. I love it.
Except sometimes we disagree, which is fine, but I respect the opinions.
But it's helpful to know, right? Like, all right, here's what people are expecting. Here's what they think looks good. Or if you're on the fence, it is a helpful way in.
But the one that I did get that people were writing saying get the floral one, which I did not, which I do really like. It was I think it would be fun with even
like
a leather jacket
with a velvet blue flower print on it.
Very comfortable. Loved that one. And a lot of people said, get that one, whatever. I didn't get that one because we want to be really sparkly. And
I know, but that would be like an everyday.
I wish I could wear that. We need it.
You could.
Sarah and I have decided.
Wear that every day.
You dress up more on a regular basis.
I wear my favorite thing is skirts
yeah.
and dresses as my daily outfits.
But my vibe is very, today we're dressed up because this is a special day. But I'm more of a ripped jean athleisure with like street, like I feel my best self in that. So I'm struggling right
Your
now.
truest self.
Yeah, to go back to kind of that dressy vibe because it's just
All through
not as common right now. We used to go to
Right.
work, like go to work and you dress up.
all through COVID when we were at home, I would wear dresses and skirts.
I didn't.
But it's just what you're comfortable.
Mhm.
That's like those are my preferred outfits.
But I have silk pants that I got to envy. This sounds like an Envy and Grace ad, though it is not. But I did get these silk pajama looking kind of pants that Jordan was wearing.
They were fun. They were
and
fun.
like I like that kind of like knit sweater, comfy, like that vibe.
I think it is hilarious to me that you think you aren't natural at dressing up. It's so funny to me because I feel like you're dressed all the time. You look fabulous. I'm confused. I'm gonna start taking photos of you in outfits, in adorable outfits. I know athleisure and like streetwear is a style you have nailed 100%. They're very cool. Also, I think you can wear those more and more. But you also show up looking adorable many times. I'm going to start taking photos. I'm going to start a photo collection for you so you can go back through your outfits to be like, oh, right, this is a great outfit pairing.
But I think it's helpful.
Like Cher from Clueless. I'm going to curate that for you.
I think it's helpful to have Chris Cunningham, who I can appreciate, good friend of ours, and he was on a month ago probably now. But he posted something a few weeks ago on Instagram saying that because he gets up very early, he goes to the gym at like 6 a.m. to our studios. And he said the best trick, I don't know, it's some type of meme, but basically that his secret is, and everyone else should do too, is pick out their clothes the night before.
Yes, if you're getting up early and you're not clear, 100%. Sometimes I love picking out my outfit because then I'm excited to get dressed in the morning.
I forget. I do before I go to the gym. I always lay out my outfits because it's just one less thing that I have to dig in the drawers and like I don't know what. Anyway.
Oh yes, your gym clothes.
But I feel like we should get someone to come over individually. We could do an episode on it and just like pick us out 5 outfits for different vibes that we just have like, hung together.
Yes.
This is what you'd wear. Take a picture. Like
I'm gonna make you this Clueless. Remember the Cher had the computer that like mixed and match her outfits. I'm gonna make you this as a gift for you. It won't be ready for Christmas.
Sometimes I just don't know what look like. I have a good eye like design.
I'm so confused by this because you have such a good design eye. So I just find it perplexing that you think you aren't good at styling yourself and that you think this is more.
I think I just gravitate to white, black, like very neutral. And sometimes I want to step it out, but then it feels too far outside of my comfort zone. I don't know.
I'm so confused. Anyways, we're going to discover this.
An intervention.
We are going to get you like a dozen outfits that are your glam gal outfits for when you're going out into the world and you want to be a little zhuzhed up.
I need some like dressy.
Some zhuzhy.
That's the issue.
Speaking of style, this is great. This is very in line with our topic today. We have a fabulous guest on with us.
So fab. She came into the studio. If you aren't watching on YouTube, you should go check out the YouTube video if you're listening to this because she looks absolutely incredible. We have Solitha on from Soli Models, Soli Productions, and she is glammed up. So she is an island girl from Saint Vincent who moved to Halifax. Loves mango.
She loves mango. And she moved from Halifax, and really we get into her story of how she went from being a model to becoming a model coach to having her own modeling agency to starting a production company. And now she also has a fashion line. Her story is wild.
I know. And she looks so beautiful. She had glasses and this like leather dress and the heels, their boots.
I wish I could.
She looks like a professional.
Maybe we should get Solitha to style us. We would never look better every day of the week.
We need to go shopping.
No. So we have this just such a fabulous conversation with her about this like empire she's building, but how she got into all of these different areas is such a natural extension. Like her mission and the thing that's so important to her is that there is an element of talent behind modeling and behind acting and these things. And we're so used to seeing the typical image.
The eye.
Yeah. And she actually puts a really big focus on providing opportunities for a diverse range of people. So people who look different, people whose talent are different. Because let's be honest, the short girls out there aren't the natural supermodels, but Solitha's got us covered.
Yeah, and just like really, she's breaking the mold around what like quote unquote model should look like,
and really brings talent into the equation. And it's incredible to kind of talk to her about how she sees the industry and really what she wants to do to shape it.
Yeah, she's doing so much. She was sporting her new jewelry line that's going to come out. That's so beautiful, and
we also get into how she gives back to the community, which is a fabulous conversation. And I do really love this because the other person who talked a lot about giving back to the community is Tarek when we had him on from Peace by Chocolate.
Yes.
And I just think it's so fabulous. The two people who've talked most about this are two immigrants to Canada. And this is just so important to them to give back to the community. So she has a scholarship program, and we'll tag the links or the details about it in our show notes as well, so you can explore. But in the meantime, if you want to find out more, you can follow Solitha at soliinc.productions on Instagram or atilos_model. And I'll tag them both in the show notes so you can see them there. Or check her out online at soliproductions.com.
Amazing.
Let's dive in.
Let's do it. Okay, well, first of all, we're so happy to have you here, Solitha. But if those are watching on YouTube, I highly recommend it because you look absolutely fabulous. Oh my gosh.
Appreciate that.
We're so happy you're
I
here.
love this dress. You're very clearly a model.
A little.
A little. You're looking fab.
Know a little something about
I had to
that?
come prepared for you guys.
We love it.
Yeah.
I wish I could look as fabulous as you any day of my life.
You guys look so awesome. So I think I'm in good company. Good company.
Well, it's so nice to finally meet you because I feel like, and a lot of our listeners may feel like this too, I see these kind of pop-up fashion shows and different events and things that you're doing all over downtown, which is so cool. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about Soli?
And the Soli Empire specifically.
The empire that's rising up. Thank you again for having me here. But the pop-up shows that's been happening kind of, I wouldn't say forced upon us, but with the situation of COVID, we had to sort of readjust how we do things. And for me, the fabric of our DNA is the foundation of Soli, the foundation of Soli production. And I didn't want to not do it this year. So we came up with having the show broken down into pieces by the designers. Ooh. And then why wouldn't we show off the city that we're in? So pop up in different spaces that kind of played into each brand and what they represented. So that's why we've been kind of popping up all over the city and trying to just infuse fashion back into our lives.
Oh, it's so fun. Even if you just stumble upon it, it's kind of like a cool thing to see outside.
I'm glad you guys feel that way about it, because for me, fashion is what saved me, and I thought, why not do something to the city that gave me sort of this opportunity to express this thing that I love so much, because I wouldn't have been able to do this if I wasn't here.
How did fashion save you?
I found fashion at a point where I didn't know what it was that I found until I got older and started realizing, oh my God, this could become a career. But my mom had passed and life had changed drastically. And then I found something that I'm good at, and people saw that I could do it. And I just thought, I don't know where it's going to take me, but I have to do this. I have to be somehow involved in this fashion. And Naomi Campbell was one of the reasons that this spark, this love got like lit in me for it. But it gave me something to look forward to and to sort of go after when, the world just changed drastically after her death. So yeah, I always say fashion saved me.
What were you doing before? Kind of before you?
I was a little island girl who just ran around carefree. The beach, diving into the water, the fruit trees like mango. That's anybody who knows me know that mango is my thing. I would be the girl with the bucket of mango heading down to the beach, or in somebody's fruit tree, helping myself to the mangoes and their fruits. But I was carefree, just living life as there was nothing else other than that 7 square mile rock of mines that I didn't care to go anywhere else. And being the youngest also afforded a little bit of the spoil situation from the older ones, but I didn't have a care in the world before mommy died. So
and then you connected with fashion.
and then fashion. Naomi Campbell showed up on
The
my
queen.
TV screen, and I thought, whoa! And everybody stopped. Even in our house with this crazy. And if you know the Caribbean, and our television wasn't where we could flip through the channels. It's sort of like state TV without the whole feel that you get from hearing state TV. But everybody was watching the same thing at the same time. And it's normally you can hear the neighbors' voices, you can hear people going on. And when she came on for me, I remember just silence. Because then we saw somebody that looked like myself, and I knew the other kids saw themselves in her as well. And she walked across that runway, and I just thought, oh my God, like that could be me. that child moment, I kind of saw the future that I didn't know I was seeing for myself take place, if that makes sense.
That totally makes sense.
Does. You knew.
And I think that plays a big part. We've talked about kind of how that plays a big part into the inception of Soli.
Right.
That you found when you came here, that there was no one who looked like you.
Yeah. So it's still
in the modeling.
exactly. So from then, and then going through the process of finding. I came here for education. I came here to go to the Mount. They weren't going to pack me up and send me here for fashion, first of all. And my sister landed here first and went to the Mount as well. And then it was, the opportunity presented for me to come because she could afford to have me be here with her. And then when I came here and people started to see, oh, you can continue this sort of journey, and I got linked up with the Cassidy group, it all became sort of, for me, this is where I was supposed to be. And then I started, going after the dream, but then quickly realized the dream was limited for me. Like I wasn't going to get very far. And I had an agent who was blunt, but also honest enough in her approach to help me get beyond these barriers, but also prepared me enough to know that it's not you, it's the system that's built in already. We'll do whatever we can to get you beyond those. However, it's not going to be easy, and you need to know that. Like, you can't come in all wiggly, that you can walk, you can pose, and, you go after opportunities. They're not going to come to you like that. So,
How much modeling have you done kind of on your own?
a bit in the Caribbean, in my country, Saint Vincent. I got linked up with 2 agencies there as well. But home, it wasn't a career. It wasn't something that paid. It was more so you did it if you were good. You did it for sort of a hobby. So most people didn't see it as a career. And in the Virgin Islands, I did some of it there. And then once I got here, I was able to go to Europe and do some stuff here in Canada. So that journey stopped once I wasn't able to afford to move to, like, say, Vancouver or Toronto, because that's when the opportunity came for me to do that. But my family couldn't afford it. And it was like crushing for me. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. And Soli would never have been Soli. So I think it all, again, saved me in a sense. It keeps saving me at moments when it needed to. Like step in, and it stopped me, and I thought it was over, but it just pushed me into the direction where coaching became the next step, or part of my journey as a model. I was also coaching the younger talent that was coming in, so it sparked that energy again in me, even though I couldn't move away. Because
Well, we're happy you're here and have been able to build something like this, because it's so important, I think, especially for our city. A lot of people do leave and they go to Vancouver, they go to Toronto, but I think it's really important to show. Now you're showing the younger guys and girls out there that there is opportunity here, and that's really beautiful.
So tell us a little bit about Soli, because it's not just modeling, but it did.
Right.
And how did it start? And let's talk about all the different parts of what you're doing.
Oh my gosh, how long do we have? For the thing is with like it going back to the coaching, because that really sparked it. And then once my agent, because I got stopped from traveling away, I developed this relationship with my agent, Brendel and Bob at the Cassidy Group. They saw in me the ability to coach the other talents. So then they hired me on as a coach as well. And I thought, wow, I could get paid to help the talent, because I was doing it just to do it once we got put into spaces. And if I saw a talent struggling, I would try and help them, because my walk, if I must say so, it's not bad.
I know we're going to have to get this on video.
My walk, yeah, definitely.
We need coaching.
Hey,
I know you're going to have to give us a
And
lesson.
photography. We need to talk.
I like that. Sparking in my head now. But yeah, I think we should do that, because my coaching isn't just for the runway models or talent who want to pursue a career in modeling, but for, again, going back to that statement where it saved me, the confidence I gained from it. I was able to then move into different spaces that had nothing to do with fashion, but I made every space that I walked into my runway. And I hope that I can give that to other people outside of the fashion world, but, business owners or people in the corporate space. Yeah, like you walk in and your head is held high, because that inner self-worth was gained from, going through my coaching sessions. Is what I want to develop this into later on down the line. So maybe we could start with,
Teaching us how to walk.
We'd love that. We'd be really good tests, I think, because we have no modeling experience.
Oh, you're gorgeous, and for people to see the way you look, and you present very confident as well, and to train you in the world of the runway, which hey.
There's
Solitha,
room
we're
for everyone.
Listen, we're here for you to
I'm
guide.
pitching.
Listen, and also I always say this. I'm like, I need someone to teach me how to pose for photos, because
Yeah,
I look
we need
hilarious in photos all the time.
But
and
I think
I'm like,
it's
this
about
is like a
learning
real thing.
your angles and
Right.
confidence. Not, I think awkwardness shows if you feel awkward getting
it
your
does.
photo
The camera
taken.
captures everything.
Oh my gosh!
So
yes.
yeah, it's hard to hide.
We're going to get the coaching after. We
Okay,
think this
good.
is
Okay,
great.
okay, good.
And kind of segueing into that, because Sarah and I are not models or traditional, but how are you and kind of solely breaking the mold around what, like, quote unquote, a model or someone should look like? Like, how are you guys changing that perception?
I think for the soul of Soli and why I so wanted to start this was because I felt that sense of isolation, being the only model that looked like me in spaces most of the time. So that token label, I knew I was the token in the space and it didn't feel well, but was I going to give it up because I wouldn't get the opportunity to walk in those spaces? But it didn't feel good not seeing other people that look like me, or diversity, true representation of diversity in that space. And that sort of sparked why I wanted to do Soli Production. And through the coaching, the models were being coached, the talent was coming through the door, yet they stopped right after they left that door because there was no representation for anything other than the status quo look. You had to be a certain height. You had to, if you were in a certain space in your shade, you were put forward faster, or if your weight and, your gender or how you identify, you were not given the same opportunities to flow. But I thought if they looked at just your talent, that should be the main factor getting you through that door. So you give access to people who wouldn't traditionally be like the top tier, right, of the industry, because we created such a box that beauty belonged in, where we made other people feel as if I don't belong, I'm not beautiful, and that's kind of played on self-worth. So I wanted to make sure I provided a space where I give that platform to talented individual. And if I started there, then I wouldn't have to worry. I wouldn't have to say I needed to have somebody who's this tall or this short so that I can have somebody represent them. No, if you came to me and you had the talent and I felt like that you were fit for my company, that's when I offer you a contract based on your talent and fit. So I don't know if that answers that.
It totally
Definitely
Yeah.
does.
But it's such a like revolutionary thought for modeling when you talk about it being based on your talent and not your appearance, right?
Right.
That's a really big mind shift for this
Yeah.
industry.
And I hope it catches on, not as a trend or not as something that, you're just doing because you want to check a box, because that comes through and it never lasts.
Right.
It'll take a moment and it would be the talk of the town, but then afterwards it goes right back to what you were comfortable with or what you preferred, rather than now shifting into true change. So I hope I never lose that, because you're not getting gigs because I want to make sure that I stay true to the original purpose of the brand.
And what's like the demand like for that type of thing? Because obviously when people are trying to get booked for different gigs or shows, whatever, it's like, are they understanding, the people you work with, that you're bringing kind of like a new type of talent?
Right. And I think it's kind of a weird setup, because then I'm a marketer, that's what I went to school, and I love marketing. So like the worlds kind of mesh together. Marketers tell the consumers what they should be wanting. And then we forget what we actually want, because I want to see me up there. I want to see me in your branding. However, a team went in and said, no, we got to go with this look because this is going to sell, and only this is going to sell to certain people with the money. So they've trained the consumer how to think, in a sense, or what is acceptable. For me, it's providing talent with that visible representation there and give them to you, right? I create now a need for that, because then that's going to shift how the consumer then think. If I can see myself, why aren't we represented in your marketing when we're the consumers who are paying your bills?
Real people.
Yeah, they're real people, and they're talented. So it's not like you're getting shafted on talent. However, we're giving you access to individuals who can reflect your consumer, but they're talented. Like, not all of us can go to the Olympics, is what I try to draw it back to. I love running, I love to sit and watch it, I love swimming, but I'm no Michael Phelps. But he's still there representing the sport that I love to do, and I can still see myself in the water, but I know that's the level where he trained, he put the time in, he's talented, he's gifted for that. So why can't we have models represent different groups, the ones who are talented enough to go on the billboard in terms of knowing your angles and posing and presenting my product properly, but then I can see myself in that person. But I know for me that's not my thing. But yet before, it was just one look where I wasn't there, and I couldn't see myself, but I had to envision what I'd look like by the model you told me was the ideal version of beauty, and messed with all of our minds.
Yes, they did.
So how has been like the bookings and things like that for you?
Right,
and for
the
Soli?
demand, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's taken like a up and down kind of it's up and down kind of a journey. When I first started and people recognized what I was doing, they wanted to come and oh, you're the agency with the diverse talent. Diversity doesn't mean that I only have people of color, Black, like the BIPOC community. I have everybody. True diversity is a representation of all of us. So when you come to me, first it started off as they were coming to me for the Black models or for the models of color. And I represent Caucasian models as well. So I saw that trend happening, and for me, it was important that you see my talent, and not just that I'm a Black agency, because I'm not. I'm Black owned, but I do not just represent Black clients. I represent everybody, and for us to be able to get over that hump of what the status quo was, we have to see all of the talent. Just talent, So true representation is where we all can exist in a space where we're then judged on what we bring to the table talent-wise. So in the beginning, they were only coming for models of diverse background, in a sense, or coming for the Black models, or models that are of Asian descent, and that. So now you're creating a space within my space where only certain people are getting bookings. So why are you coming to me just for that when I have a roster of talented people across the board? So I felt that, and then it shifted again back to where they were coming for everybody, but it's an up and down. For me, it's a battle trying to get people to recognize me as an agency that represents talent and not just Black talent or brown talent, but I also have white talent that need to be booked out as well. Because then they didn't come to me because I am, the agency that they're going to give them a space without them being talented. They came to me because they know I'll recognize their talent and I can coach them and help them to hone their skills in to get bookings. Yet you're sitting on my roster and only one set of people are going out. You're creating another world for me to fix.
Okay, so then how did you start fixing this? Because this is the thing with you, which I love, is you get to these problems where at first you were coaching and you were meeting amazing talent and they weren't getting booked. And then you started an agency because you wanted to represent these people who weren't getting booked.
Yeah.
Now you've come to the roadblock of people not, kind of hiring your full roster.
Right.
So how did you fix this problem? This is what I love about you.
So I often say building my tables because that's so true. I never went into the game wanting to be an agent, but the gap made that a reality because then there was no way I knew how talented you were. Why shouldn't you have representation? And now facing this next roadblock, I thought, if you're not going to hire them for their talent, what can I do? And creating a product line now so I can show clients that I want to attract to my business what my talent can do with that product. So within that started Solinat, which is the clothing line, and the production end of the company took on a whole nother level because the runway shows were done so that I can put my models on the runway and show you what they can do. So my 5'8", my 5'7", the 6 and my 6 foot females, because then again, the height cuts off at both ends.
Is 5'7" the short end of things?
So 5'8.5" is what you get in on a runway, and that is pushing it. The 5'9", smooth sailing through. Easy access, I call those points, and limited access when you go up to 6'1". If you're female, then you're not brought into it. So you could be tall, but you have to be within that space. You wouldn't get onto those runway. But I know I had walkers in my agency that didn't fit those measurements. But if I put them on the runway and show you what they can do, you have no choice, because then why aren't you taking them? You know they can rip the runway and present your product in the manner that you want, yet you're not hiring them because they're not 5'8.5".
Wow.
So the production was built to give my talent a platform so that I can show them in the space that they need to be, rather than isolate them because of some measurement.
That's so interesting and so smart, because now you're allowing the talent in your organization to showcase their skills no matter what, which is so beautiful, because you might have some little rock star coming down the runway
And
that's 5'2".
You do. Like that was my thing. Or a plus size model, or a model who, didn't fit the measurements of a curve model, because now it's changing and changing. And your weight goes up and down based on the category you're in. So if you fall out of that specific, measurement, then you don't get to go on. So for me, it's, why isn't the runway open to people who can rock it, wear your clothes, promote your brand the way you want to on that runway, rather than sort of separate or deny them access because of that without even seeing what they can do. Because on paper, they don't make, the mark. I want to show you what they can do through the runway production. So that started that. And now with the development of the apparel, the extension to the company, I can use my models' faces to put them on our brand. So if I can turn a profit with them, what do you think they're going to do for your brand that has all the resources already and is existing? If they can do that for me, who's starting, what can they do for you who has all that backing behind you? So that's the goal.
What's the process in working with Soli or starting? Are people coming to you with no experience?
Yeah.
If there might be people listening, do
wanna get into
do you
modeling.
just come in? I'm picturing in a TV show, you come in, you get some photos taken, you do a walk. Like how do you guys kind of work through that process with people?
So for me, with the agents, because there's 3 layers to the company in terms of the coaching, the agency, and the production. My production is open to any model within the space that we're putting the show on, and that's one of the things through this as well. I hope that people get it's that my productions, some of them are going to be specific, but a production that's open to the general public is because I know I can't represent everyone. And there are freelance models who prefer to be that way, or models signed to other agencies. My production, because I know with Halifax there's not a lot happening, is open to all of those models. So when a casting call goes out, I'm hoping that everybody comes. So take advantage of the runway that is, presented or provided for you to show off your talent, because again, I can't represent everybody. So I'm looking for, from the agency end of things, I'm also looking for talent who, if you're trained and I can, help guide you along the way. So you present your portfolio, your comp cards. If you have training prior to coming to me, my coaching is for models who are aspiring to get into the industry, so I can help you. And within that space, it's not just for my agency. So you can come to me for coaching and you can sign with somebody else. But for my thing is, how do I fill the market with talented professional artists that people can't now deny you your worth when it comes to booking you for a job? Because if it's just, coming from one channel, then competition's out there where clients like, I can go get this person. I know they don't have the training, but you give them what you think they want for the access of exposure. So to answer that, my agency is looking for trained professional. My coaching help you get ready to go to agencies that are looking for trained professional, and my runway is for professionals who want to showcase their talent regardless of the representation that is tagged onto your professional brand. That makes
so much sense. That's so cool that you've
Yeah.
created all of this, and it's such a like a big challenge to take on, because like you said, the modeling world is so fixed, and there are, well, like you said at the start of this conversation, like your agent was very frank with you that it would be so hard to go anywhere.
Yeah. I was like looking at her and I'm like, oh my God, my dreams were just going in the back. And then after being with her and the way she presented it too, it wasn't like, you can't do this. It was more, let me let you know what these obstacles are before you go all wide eye and run into this. So that's what I hope I give my talent as well, a reality check, but not telling you can't access the things you want. Because why should a 5'7" model who wants to be on the runway not try for that to get to Milan? The road is not going to be easy. My whole thing is ease of access. Doesn't mean that you're denied entry in. It's just how easy are you going to get into that door. So yeah, if anything, take away from that, it's don't stop dreaming, because look at where I am. And I'm not even where I want to be yet, but that girl on the beach, with her wild afro and, her mango all over her face, but running into the water and using the beach as my runway. I never thought I would be in North America, but I knew I wanted to be. I didn't know how I was going to get here, but somehow this was all I wanted to do.
What does the next phase or that next step into your dream look like for you?
Oh my gosh. Having Soli as an international company. Having Soli where it's infusing that spark or love for the industry with other people who want to start up their own thing. Because again, the market is big. I can't represent everyone. But if other people are following sort of this blueprint that I'm hoping, to set in place, that we will see change. Because if you're flooding the market with talent and you're coming at it with this approach, there's no way the clients are gonna resist. You can't resist if we're providing the supply we know the demand is there. Now you just have to shift gears a bit and allow talent to be on display rather than your boxed version of what beauty is or who should be in the industry.
Oh, I love that. You also have a scholarship fund. Is that right?
Yes. So my, I know I'm talking to you and I'm thinking, wait a minute, whoa,
So many
that's a
things.
lot. There's a lot going on in here. So yeah,
We're thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. It's like you never think of it because I'm like, going through and I was like, whoa, that's a lot, Solitha. Like, what were you thinking? And home, they know me as Natasha. So it's like, there's two versions
Really?
of me as well too. Yeah. So Natasha is
Did you know that?
No.
yeah, Natasha was a dreamer on the island, and Solitha came to Nova Scotia and brought that dream to life. So that's where Soli Nat came from.
Ooh.
So it's Soli's living the reality of Natty's dreams.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
But so back to the scholarship. Again, my sister was the one that came here through an exchange program in Chester, the high school. And then she was able to stay because of the generosity of a family that, took her under their wings and helped her to go through the process of staying in Canada and affording to go to university. So it kind of gave her the space now to bring me and help me with that dream because I'm the baby. She's the one before me, now setting up sort of a legacy within our family that by building this empire, I can help the others as well. So we're only here because of someone's generosity to us because we're not from a rich family. We would have never been able to do this if it didn't start with her and that one act of, kindness towards her sparked this with us. So now that we're in a position and we both are back in Nova Scotia, because I did leave and go to Montreal, we are now back in Nova Scotia, and this is the place that gave us our start. So this is really special for us in a lot of ways. We knew that this gift required us to pay attention to the responsibility that we have and to give back in some fashion to the people that, came or in the position or circumstances that we came from. So therefore, the birth of Atlantic Scholarship Organization and our Legacy Scholarship Initiative is what we hope to develop into something that people can truly benefit from.
So who
create their
does
own
the
legacy.
scholarship go to?
So marginalized groups within Atlantic Canada, young leaders, people who are, going after their dream despite the circumstances that or barriers that they're facing, and students that have proven I'm going to do this. I'm going to try whatever I need to get to the space beyond high school. So anybody in their second year who's gone through the first year. And if you can do that, you're going to stick around. So we figured that would be a really good space to start a partnership with the student rather than, just handing over the funding and forgetting about you. We wanted to make sure we come in and support you on your journey so you don't lose that sense of pride of doing it yourself. But the reality is if you're starting with zero, there's no way you're going to ever catch up to the person who started with the one.
Yeah.
Or had something to build on. So we want to go into this as partners with the student and help them to keep that sort of independence and self-worth, because sometimes when you're given a gift, if you're in the position of need, the person giving the gift have that power over you. And sometimes it's not said, and sometimes it is said. And we found it takes away from your self-worth as well, because you're always having to prove that I need you and thank you. And, those things are necessary. But we wanted, moving forward with this scholarship, that the students felt ownership to their journey and not sort of any kind of blind loyalty to us.
Or indebtedness.
Yeah, or indebted to
That
us
makes
because
sense.
you're giving this gift. All we ask is that you recognize the responsibility as we did, and hope. We're not perfect, and we're perfecting it as we go. But that is the whole sort of just behind the Atlantic Scholarship, is to give them back their power while we partner with them on their endeavor to change their circumstance.
Ooh, and where can people learn more about that?
So the Atlantic Scholarship Organization.com, our website, they can, call the 902-455 number. But as we develop it, it just started in 2020, which was, March of 2020 was like,
Interesting
whoa, why did you
timing.
start?
Yeah.
See, we went off bright-eyed in November of 2019 and getting it going, and then the doors opened in January of 2020. So we were steaming ahead, and then COVID just put a hole on it. But we didn't want to lose it.
Yeah.
And just struggling through now to make sure that it stays, because I believe in that, just like I believe in Soli Production, that it's necessary to create that other legacy part of the story, give back to a city that gave us everything we have right now.
The thing that you talking about the scholarship makes me think of is Tarek, who we had on from Peace by Chocolate, because he's also an immigrant in Nova Scotia. But same thing. His number one thing was he got here and his family had nothing at the time. And they were like, how do we start giving back to the community? And it's just so interesting how that's bred like in your mentality and mindset as well. And thank you for that. I think it's an incredible lesson.
No, I'm thankful to the people that we have run into who were so generous, to help and give us this opportunity to be here, and recognizing also that, you're working towards it. So that partnership was established back then. And I think knowing, what would have been my story, which would have been quite different if I didn't get the opportunity to come here and all these things that opened up. I think there are a lot of things to fix, but the fact that I'm sitting here talking about two companies that was started from a girl who, had nothing in terms of resources, wealthy in family and love, but when it comes to everything else, like, I would have never been able to start the agency back home. Now I can go back and help bridge the gap as well and help some of the talent there get their dream a little faster than I did, but also the people here that helped me provide that space that they can call their own too.
Amazing.
We love you.
Solitha,
God.
We love you.
I'm developing that connection to you guys too, so thank you for having me. It feels so easy to talk. I feel like I'm just like blurbing out stuff, but you make it easy to talk because you're engaging. It seems you want to hear what I have to say, and often when people ask it doesn't feel that way. So
we do. That's why you're here.
and I thank you for that. And it feels that way. It feels comfortable. Chatting with you.
Good. We love
Glad.
that.
Nice.
We're all cozy.
Nice. I
and-
like what you're doing, man. I like what you're doing. So I was honored that you invited me to come on as well.
We're honored for you to be here with us.
And you're not done quite
Yeah,
yet.
we've got a couple.
okay.
Well, we're almost done. So before we get into some of the sillier parts of the show,
Shenanigans.
the shenanigans, as we say, we want to know, it could be personally about you or solely, what is lighting you up inside? Like, what are you the most excited about right now?
Oh my God. Whew. My world seems to be Soli and yeah. So I think the potential for my talent, the Nova Scotian talent, the team that I have right now, the roster and the admin group that I have, where this journey is going to take us, and just seeing sparks of that throughout the different individuals who are part of the brand, that gives me the energy, like Ben and Martina, and just to mention, a few, and Otney, and where their journey's taken, and just to see them just sliding into their purpose or the path that they were supposed to, take in this industry, and beyond. That gives me life, and that gets me excited because they've trusted the process along the way. The moments where you want to bawl your eyes out, moments you're jumping off the rooftop, shouting in glee, but that trusting the process has always been something that I saw each of them do. as we go, and constantly reminding them to keep doing that, and now seeing them just blossom into the talent or the artist that they wanted to be. For me, that just lights makes this purposeful, I guess.
And shout out to Martina Caladius.
Yeah.
We love you.
And
Yeah,
we've been
Martina.
loving
Big fan.
we've been loving it, watching her journey as she
Yeah.
like leans into modeling and
Talent,
into acting.
just talented,
So
like,
talented.
We
just-
saw her speak recently, and part of her speech, she embraced her acting skills and started to cry, and everyone in the audience was like, "Oh, like their
I was
hearts."
so upset.
And then
she
goes,
started
"I'm
crying.
just kidding."
See, that's my Martina.
She is talented, let's say, because we fell
Yes.
for it.
She was like, guys, I'm just acting. I'm not crying. I was so upset.
Booked, huh?
Yeah.
No,
She knows what
she
she's
really
doing.
is amazing, and I'm so glad that the space, we can find a space or go after those spaces that can showcase the type of talent that she is and how good she is in all of these different spaces within the industry. Because not only is she amazing as an actor, as a model, and not often you can do both. And she's proving that you can do both. And again, trusting that process and the timeline to get to where she's going to blow the lid off, and excited that she's carrying Nova Scotia, beyond.
Ooh,
We are
Amazing.
too.
shout out Martina. We love
Yeah.
you. All right. Solitha, very fun part of the show.
Okay.
We're going to play Queenie Grams. It's a made up game.
Okay.
Very
Should I be
easy.
scared? Okay.
Well, maybe.
I'm
just-
competitive. I'm
Depends.
competitive. So.
Well, all it is you get to pick a number, and I'm going to ask you a question. We're all going to go around and
Okay.
take a turn to answer.
okay.
So pick a number
So
between
anybody wins?
one.
Are we winning?
There's no
something?
winning.
There's no winning.
But I love
mean,
you.
like,
I love your edge.
I can tell you right now, if you answer well, you
Okay.
could win.
You'll
Oh,
win. You're the
okay,
guest. You
okay.
just get to win.
Okay, I like
Well,
that.
you never know. I might come through with some fire answers.
We'd
on
have
this
to
one,
get
so.
Yeah.
producer Mark to vote on the best answer.
And I want it to be fair.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay.
So can you pick a number between 1 and 143?
44.
44. I feel like someone picked this number recently, but let's
We
see.
need to scramble them. People really.
Or 43. If it was 44, it's big. 43.
Sarah, you be the judge.
Okay. What part of a kid's movie completely scared you?
What part of it?
Like any
was
that
there a
stick
kids
out
movie?
in your mind that you were scared when you were little?
Oh my God. I can't remember.
Like any Disney movies?
There's
Like
one
they
that
were
I
scared.
that I thought of recently that I came across. I'll go first so you can think.
Okay.
You think?
A Nightmare Before Christmas. Really didn't like that.
Really?
And so, actually, a funny story about this. I was at my friend Gardner's house last week, and he was saying, him and his girlfriend were telling me that for Halloween, kids wouldn't come up the stairs to their house because they decorate it like in a spooky fashion because they think it's a haunted house. So their great idea this year was to go get a friendly balloon to put out front to make sure people knew it wasn't actually, a haunted house. They could still come trick or treating.
But
they
that's from
got
It movie,
the
isn't it?
face. No, so because of the It movie, they didn't want to get like just a plain
Red.
balloon. No, so they get the face of the character from A Nightmare Before Christmas, which is like a stitched smile. And they showed this to me
Terrifying.
when I was there. I was like, this is my nightmare. I was like, I would never come to this house.
Oh my gosh. That also made me welcome me in.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of like scary movies get me, but I want to watch them. But
No.
like it's, yeah. I'm trying to think what scared me as a kid.
Any shows.
You were just happy.
I know, I was just happy eating mangoes and running down to the beach.
Yeah.
Like that was my life.
I love that.
No worries. And
I think I don't know if it was a kid movie, but I don't even know what the name of it was. But she came out of the television, or she crawled out of the TV.
this sounds terrifying.
She was like the demon thing came out of the TV.
This is 100% not a kid's movie.
No, it was the kids, but I can't remember any kids' movies.
No, this is
But that
fine.
one, she crawled out of the movie, and me and my sister, we were frozen in the house. Like, no, but we were told we weren't supposed to watch the TV, so we kind of put it on really low, and we were watching it. But by the time that woman crawled out of the movie, like my father, whoever knew we were outside watching it, so we had to then get up, turn the lights off, and go in, and no, we were frozen. We could not move from outside watching that. that was the first time like I got that shock of, because I'd never seen her,
Terror.
she was actually coming out the TV. So we thought if we went to turn it off, she would
would
come
grab
out
you.
at us. But yeah,
That would
was
be
my-
very scary.
Yeah, that was my moment of, good God. And we were disobeying the rules.
So you were actually
So
afraid.
we were outside teething a TV moment and didn't realize what was coming at us. Yeah.
So you had both the real fear
Yeah.
and
then
the
the fear of
Yeah,
of
you
our
were already
father.
on edge.
Yes.
I can't remember any like kid specific ones, to be honest, like Disney or anything. I think I just separated those with being cartoons, and I
You
wasn't
guys
as
are
scared.
so much
mentally.
braver than
But I do remember seeing Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji, very scary.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I think my parents, I went with a friend and her mom, and I think it was one of the 3D, the IMAX ones. And I remember being kind of scared after that, being like, oh my God.
That would be scary. What was the other? Do you know what also really freaked me out? What was the one with Macaulay Culkin?
Oh, and the stepson?
No,
that's
that one I would
terrifying.
never watch. No, it was just it really frightened me. And it wasn't Thor? Was it Thor Birch?
Do you know, Mark?
And he dies.
I don't know.
It's the one where he dies. It's like it's a really like heart wrenching movie, but he gets stung by the bees. That one really freaked me out.
My Girl.
My
Girl.
girl. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God. Yeah, I remember that.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That horrified me.
That's,
Really?
Yeah, when I think I remember I'd never seen it.
You win.
I was very distressed.
That's
after
a good
that.
one because I don't remember a kid, like say if we were around a little bit older or younger of that age, seeing a kid die in a movie like that. It was
did not
terrifying.
like that.
Yeah.
I did not
From a
like
bee
that.
sting?
You win.
All right, don't worry, Solitha. You get 2 more chances. Ashley, pick a number for us here.
I'm gonna do 142.
142. Okay, let's see what we got. Ashley, what book is a must read in your mind? I know what you're going to say. Tell us.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh,
It starts with an A.
Atomic Habits.
What's that about?
Right now, I'm very into it. It's just like a way to structure your life to have good habits, to figure out how to build good habits. It's very practical advice. It's not, earth shattering, but it's really interesting perspectives on like how to do little things. I do love it.
I didn't mean to answer for you, though.
No, but you're right. That's
Is that the one you would say?
I would recommend that.
When you know, you know.
The other one would be Michelle Obama
Oh, you
Becoming, because I love that book so
You
much.
love that. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Mine is the 4 Agreements. It's a spiritual book. This is not a shocking answer for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's like a very non-denominational spiritual book. I think it's like very accessible for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like draws you in.
Okay.
Everyone I know who like cracks it ends up like reading 30, 40, 50 pages like right away. It's just like, again, not super, there's no like earth shattering concepts, but it's like really well laid out and makes you kind of reflect on your own values in life.
Okay.
So that one's
Maybe that's a
mine.
read. Maybe that's a read.
What about you?
Oh gosh, I'm gone in another direction.
Give it to us.
Vampires are my thing.
All right.
So I love Anne Rice books. Like I got hooked. Good. Yeah, on Lestat, and so that would be my must read.
I love that. I'm just picturing you down on the beach, bright sunshine, mangoes next to you with the vampire book going.
Oh my God! I so like the first time I got like so hooked onto them. I was like going down from, because I live after my mom died. It was my siblings, so I moved between the homes for them, and I would be on the top of the hill at one of my older sister's house, and then I'd find my way going down the trail to the other house, but I would be stopping on the path, like sitting on the stone, just reading, because I didn't want to get to the next space and not figure out what was happening. So I'd be like, traps are like, who is this? And what are you reading? And they're very religious. So when they realized what I was reading, it didn't go over too well because it was like demonic for them. But I just fell in love. I just fell in love with the vampires. Like I even fell in love so much with it that when I came to school here to the Mound, and there was one professor in my marketing class asked us to introduce and something about ourselves. I was like, I would want to be a vampire. I stood up in front of the university class, right? And they're all like, who is this? Who are you?
I love
Like,
that.
why would you say that? Like, first day, like, the first week of school, you're talking about that's what
You were
wanna say
probably
in
so
university?
memorable.
Yeah, they never
Everyone
forget that.
remembered
They
that.
never forget that. So that book just created a love of vampires and a love of the supernatural
Oh,
for me.
I love that. There are other worlds. That's great.
Yeah,
That's right.
escaping too.
I'm now getting into the fall reading. I'm really into. I read novels in the fall. I like that, so I'm trying to do that. But most of mine are like historical fiction, so they're not like particularly uplifting.
Oh gosh. Well, we need to know where we came from.
No,
We need to
exactly,
know where you came from.
totally.
All right, Sarah, take us home.
I am going to go with 102. If you could be in one celeb's entourage, who would it be?
Oh my gosh.
Right now, just for no reason. Okay, actually, I always give this answer. It is 100% Taylor Swift because I really like her. But right now, today, I'm feeling Justin Bieber for some reason. I just, I was really enjoying his album yesterday, and now I'm just feeling like he lives a weird life, probably, that I'd find it very interesting. It could be entertaining.
I feel like it's good that he's married now. At least he's like kind of grounded himself.
Now
a
he's
little
got the
bit.
Timbits. I feel like we could talk about that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, he has a
my
Timbits?
yeah,
Oh,
Tim Biebs.
Biebs, the Tim Biebs.
nice.
He came up with
Okay.
3 or 4 flavors.
Dude, what are the flavors?
It's
I
actually
wonder?
hilarious, the marketing behind it. And now I want to, it's just very
wanna
outrageous.
go
He's
check
like
it out.
cappuccino, vanilla, sprinkle. Like they're just, it's like weird, really quirky kind of,
I'm actually just writing a new Queenie Ram. What is your favorite Timbit flavor? I feel
Oh,
like that's
that's
a
a
good
good one.
question.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm taking Justin Biebs.
who would you
Oh my
choose?
gosh. Well, everybody except me to say Naomi, but for I'll be in the Martina entourage.
Ooh, Martina.
Put it out there. I want to be rolling around with the actor model that just gonna flip this
The
world
queen.
upside down. Yeah.
My
love
brain's
that.
not
Yeah.
working. I'm like, I don't know. I've said Kim Kardashian before.
Yeah.
Because I just want to, like, I need to
Spread out.
see.
Could
what
be
that's
Michelle
like.
Obama.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be too smart for me most of the time.
That
Like,
is not true.
She's so cool and
No,
laid
no.
back. Adele, I've said that. But I was thinking, and now her name. This is I'm tired and I can't think. What's my unorthodox life?
Oh yeah,
the girl.
I don't know because
Have you watched that
this
show?
No.
It's more of like a
The now
docu.
Netflix?
Yeah, but she's
Yeah, I
the-
flipped through it, but
she's
never.
the CEO of Elite Models.
Oh my gosh.
She's like the tiniest little Jewish lady. Like she is just.
This is
But I'm like, her name has just left my mind.
Julia Hart.
Julia Hart. I'm gonna roll with Julia Hart because
you go.
she is the funniest person and just seems so sweet. And I feel like she's flying all over the world. Would be a ball.
You've got the fashionista, you've got the fashionista and talent and
Yes.
actress, and then I've got the Timbit guy. I think I've lost.
I mean,
this
if
for
all of us, but I think if we could all hang, it would be good.
Yeah, just we'd come on by invite you on. We could follow each other around. I think that would be cool. Because then
Yeah.
that world falls into my role.
Exactly. And her mission, the reason you just need to watch it, so good, but she wants to give models more of a platform and a career, not just like you
Beyond-
model.
beyond 40.
It's like,
Yeah.
how
Or
can I
beyond
help
30.
you build
Right.
a business outside of
Yes.
just modeling? And I think
Yes.
that's really cool too. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's a great. I feel like this
I'm
will
gonna
be
watch.
your next
That's
venture.
the second time
Yeah.
where somebody mentioned that I should watch that. So I think
And
it's
she had
it's a must.
yeah, it's like
It's
a
a
nice, you could
must-watch.
just do it while you're cooking at home. You don't
Yeah.
really have to.
The third time is when you'll know, and that's when you start.
Like, okay. I keep flipping through. I was like, something to watch. And I was like, maybe not that. Because I'm looking for my vampire fix, huh?
Right,
my
okay.
supernatural fix. So that's
Well,
sort
there's
of
no
my
vampires in this.
downtime.
But I feel like it would resonate that her
Yeah.
story and fashion.
Yeah, I
and-
think so.
Anyway,
I love that.
this has been so beautiful.
Solitha, we're
thank
so
you,
happy
ladies,
you could come
for
on.
having me.
Where can people find you online?
SoliProduction.com and AtlanticScholarship.com. And then Soli Inc. Productions on Instagram, or Attilos if you want to follow my personal journey.
Ooh,
Attilos on Instagram as well.
We do.
we do, and we'll tag all
probably
of
are.
those in the show notes
Thank you.
so you guys can follow along. Thanks so much, Solitha.
Thank you for having me.